it looks like we have David and
Dason. Oh, a couple of familiar faces.
I called David out while we were opening packs.
Did you really?
Opened a few things that I think he's going to want for his commander decks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So David is in red-green, which is very much a David color. He seems to be like a Naya,
big stuff.
A Naya kind of player. Dason is in blue-green.
Interesting.
Which is a tempo kind of deck in this format. You just kind of play as many... and this is how it is for...
Dason with the strong roll.
The strong roll. The blue-green kind of decks usually are somewhat light on removal, but then just kind of flood the board with so many interesting threats that, that it's hard to deal with. However, when they do get behind on board, it's a lot harder for them to recover because they don't have as much removal.
Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be a strategy, but I could see blue-green.
Yep.
Blue has solid flying creatures.
Yes.
Green has solid ways to pump creatures.
Correct.
So I would think big flying creatures would be a problem.
I think that's one way. Deck. I think as long as blue-green gets on the front foot, it's in very good shape. Because what happens is green, in classic terms, has a lot of ramp effects.
Right.
We saw Druid of the Call. We saw a couple other ones. And by ramping up quickly, it allows access to expensive spells, which blue likes to have, like expensive flyers or stuff where you need to leave up more mana than you normally would for a counterspell and that sort of thing. So green-blue can be very strong if it can get ahead. If it's behind, it's a lot more difficult, certainly.
We will see. I'm not sure who won the roll. Dason scared me off watching the roll with that initial roll. So
so I think David won the roll, and we'll see if he decides to play first or draw first. I think if I knew it was blue-green, I'd try to play first.
Yeah.
But it's probably likely that David will play first anyway. New set, try to figure it out.
And this is our third round. I'd be interested to know what these players' scores are so far, if they're 2-0, 1-1.
Yeah, Jake, if you could find out what the records are for our two players, that would be great.
But by now they've each played their deck several games.
Yep.
They know how it plays out, what to expect, and they probably have a few sideboard cards in mind if they go that way.
Yeah, it looks like they were both 2-0 on the night, or on the day rather.
Dason with 4 lands, a Bristling Boar, Thornhide Wolves, and Palaka Worm.
Ooh, that's a bomb right there. And importantly, he does have a forest. I think he only has one forest, so the Palaka Worm might take a little while.
Palaka Worm's going to be a waste, but it's an expensive spell.
It's an expensive spell anyway, and the rest of his cards seem like he can cast them, so that seems fine. David looks like he went down to 6.
Yeah, Bristling Boar costs 4, 1 green, 3 of anything, so that'll be the first card he's able to play.
So let's look at David's 6. Does he like it? I see a couple lands in there. They may not be in the right color. Oh yeah, he
has 2 lands at least.
Okay, so he
4
has
lands.
4 lands, okay. 4 lands, the Runic Armasaur, which we saw earlier, which is in foil, and I can't see the other red card, but we'll see. So he scried, and I think he kept it on top.
I believe the red one was an Onaki.
Okay.
Something Onaki. Taking a look, and I will try to let you know what it was.
No problem. Looks like Dason's first on the board with an Omen Speaker, so he'll scry 2.
Not sure.
We'll put 1 on top and 1 on bottom, so he likes what he sees for one of them, so we'll keep that.
Omen Speaker, very good at blocking bears.
Yep. Something on the board. Let's see what we got.
Okay, if you could pull that up for us, Jake.
I believe it's...
We're flipping through our sheets. Goblin Motivator. Nope.
Nope.
That's the wrong card. Never mind. Kargan Dragon Rider. As long as you control a dragon, I'm being told I'm wrong.
Ogre. Onaki Ogre.
It was the Onaki!
It's the Onaki Ogre.
4-2. Thank you, Jake.
Yep.
4-2 for 3 mana. So, not bad.
Yeah. It's relevant because it provides a body out there.
Now, the Omen Speaker was just enchanted. No, that's 2 Omen Speakers he's got in play now.
Yes. So. He scried again. Looks like the Druid of the Call. The second green source is important because David has that runic Armasaur.
The second Omen Speaker was also important.
Yes.
Because now they can block and kill an ogre.
That's true.
So it looks like David opting not to throw the ogre away.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he has
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another mana. That looks like the bristling boar.
Yeah. Looks like Dason's building.
So 4/3 can't be blocked by more than one, so reverse menace.
Yep, and it's actually really good answer to David's Onaki Ogre.
It is.
It's very clean. Looks like David wants to up his ramp.
Druid.
He still has access to 3, but only 1 green, so the Armasaur can't come out right now. And for now, he'll just pass the turn.
Dason quick to tap 5 mana for his Thornhide rolls.
Yep. So the thing about blue-green is that if you can tempo out and play a spell every turn, your board gets very strong very quickly, and it looks like Dason seems to be able to do that.
4/5 wolves, they're able to trade very well with the ogres.
Mm-hmm. A 5 bud is relevant in this format more than you'd think.
It can deal with 2 bears.
It can deal with 2 bears favorably, and it takes 3 bears to be unfavorable.
God, bears suck. There's a Runic Armasaur.
Yep.
That's just opened one of those.
Yep.
So 2/5. Whenever an opponent activates the ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card.
So right now that's nothing because everything is vanilla.
Yeah.
On
2/5 though,
sides.
we have a very clogged up board.
A 2/5 for 3 is nothing to joke about.
No, that buys you time.
It buys you plenty of time. Looks like David is going to
Havoc Devil.
Havoc Devil, okay.
4/3 trample.
Trampler.
We're learning the cards today.
That's
It's
how this
awesome.
goes.
We keep seeing them and we know what they are now.
Yeah. The best part of pre-release.
We didn't even open a full box.
No,
And
sir.
we already are getting them. Kind of Sky Scanner.
This is how I learn is I lose on a Magic Online. I'm like, I've learned the set by losing a lot.
Well, imagine how much you're going to learn trying to get Liliana's contract put together.
I'm going to learn so much, Andy. It looks like Dason
Sky
plays
Scanner
a Tome.
and the Tome.
The Tome is actually really important because when you're playing a blue-green deck, the problem is since you can play all your threats efficiently and put them all out, you run out of cards. So having a Tome at the end to refill your hand is incredibly good.
Blue is good at drawing, but yes,
Yeah.
green contributes very little to that.
Yep.
So, Arcane Encyclopedia it's called.
Ooh, I like that. So it looks like Dason's got the Palaka Worm.
Yeah.
That was
David
sweet,
giving it
man.
a read. Haven't seen it in a long time.
That card is sweet. 7/7, enters battlefield, gains 7. When he dies, draw a card. Seems good.
Yeah.
And it's trample. Ooh, baby. Looks like Dason is out of... Oh, no, does he have 1 card? 1 card in hand.
1 card in hand.
1 card.
At least.
Yep.
Yeah. Looks like maybe a Druid.
Druid of the Cow. Yep. So next turn, he'll be able to draw a card with the Tomb. And also play the Druid if he chooses.
The Druid is a card I would like to hold on to here.
Yeah.
It's not going to contribute to my board very much, and it represents a combat trick.
Yep, it represents more information. He does the right thing, decides to draw a card, see what he gets first.
Look like a Daggerback Basilisk.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Plays his land for a turn, so that means he has 2 cards in hand, and we know 1 is a Druid. He decides it's Palaka Worm time.
If you kill it, fine. If you don't, fine.
So David's lining up a massive block. The big question is here is how much is he afraid of a combat trick that Dason may or may not have?
Multiple cards in hand.
That's right.
And 5 mana untap. That's multiple combat tricks.
So David's thinking, I need a block with the house, the team, and hope that Dason doesn't just eliminate enough that Palaka Worm takes out my team for no reason.
So now, when you block with multiple creatures, a lot of new players have trouble with this interaction.
Yep.
Dason is going to be telling him which creatures he's dealing damage to in what order. And then he has to assign lethal damage to those creatures before the other creatures are subject to any damage.
So he looks like he will trade the Palaka Worm for 3 creatures and a card.
He killed the Havoc Demon and the Ogre, which took 5 of the damage, leaving only 2 left to deal to either the 2/5 or the 1/3.
Yep.
So neither one of those died. And he drew a card off it, like you said. So it's good. Daggerback Basilisk in play.
And also, Dason now just has a much stronger board presence than David at the moment. It's just clogged on the ground. Nobody has flyers to break the stalemate necessarily.
David has a volcanic dragon.
Yep. Oh, sorry, that's the volcanic dragon with haste. So he's
Yeah.
going to come up through the top for 4. Yep.
But that 7 life that Dason gained off a block worm means it's not that big a deal. And that's the second time he's been hit by the dragon.
So now we're kind of in a weird racy situation where Dason can favorably attack with the wolves and probably the boar.
Yeah.
But everything else is kind of like so-so. But it's also not impossible to swing in with everything.
I wouldn't mind swinging with the dagger back.
Yeah.
If it trades with the Armasaur, that's fine.
So what do we got
That looks
here?
like some equipment. I believe it's the equipment with the face on it. Sigiled Sword of Valoron. The equipped creature gets +2/+0, and we have it on screen for you. Has
Okay.
vigilance and is a knight.
Oh, that
Whenever
seems
it
great.
attacks, he gets a token knight.
That seems pretty good.
And then you slapped it on the bristling boar. So it's now a 6/3, can't be blocked by more than one creature. That puts out a knight that's attacking.
Which I think David took care of with the Armasaur.
Well, he blocked it
Yeah.
with the 2/5, so that's none of those creatures other than the dragon can kill it.
Yep. So in this current race, Dason is winning, but we'll see what happens when David plays right here. Looks like he has a
Looks
5
like he's got a
casting
wolves.
cost. Yeah.
Thornhide wolves.
Okay, so he has similar wolves to
So
play.
it's a 4/5, which notably trades well with the boar.
Mm-hmm. It's just another thing that clogs up the ground too, because
Right.
Dason was ahead in the race based on the fact that he could attack with the boar and his wolves. But now that that David has wolves himself, I think the ground attacks are much less useful. One good thing is Dason has plenty of mana to work with, it looks like.
So you can use that encyclopedia to find more stuff and still be able to cast spells on his turn.
Oh no, did we start getting Dason to shuffle and flick through his cards?
Not me.
That might be me.
You guys are such bad influences.
We're bad influences.
Darren, we are sorry. Well, they should be sorry. I didn't teach them those things.
What is he playing here? Let's see. Departed Deckhand. This card is really, really good because with enough mana, he can make it so that David is unable to block the creatures that Dason wants to attack with.
And he can do it right away.
Yes, he has the mana to activate it, and most importantly is that he only has to activate it for his own creatures. It's not like he's targeting David's creatures in fact to make them not be able to block. It makes his own creatures unblockable.
He can activate it twice
Yeah.
because he has a druid up on the creature line.
So by activating it makes David draw a card from the runic the runic Armasaur.
Still seems worth it.
Still seems worth it, yes. So he's coming in with the knight.
David blocking the knight.
Totally fine, but he's still going to take whatever the boar damage is, which I
He
think
took
is
the 6.
Yeah.
Alright, so David's still counting on that dragon to outrace this.
It's tough now because next turn Dason will have 2 full activations of Departed Deckhand. So
That
David
would be a suspicious bookcase, which is another
Right.
unblockable creature trigger.
Yep. Which means David has to get rid of the deckhand by targeting it this turn in order to survive one more turn.
So Dason has 10 mana. If he draws another mana, he can make 3 creatures unblockable next turn.
Yep. And he only needs 2 right now.
That's it.
So we'll see how David deals with this turn. He did get to see an extra card from the Runic Armasaur.
And he'll get to see more if Dason makes creatures unblockable.
Yep. And if there's anything that allows David to target, actually, if he has enough mana, he can play Vivian's and use the flight target to make Dason sacrifice the Departed Deckhand. Oh,
Because
it's
if he
target of a
targets it.
spell.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not abilities, it has to be a spell. Which that would target if he finds a creature to deal damage to it.
Yep.
The problem is, now that the bookcase is out, he can still sneak 1 in over 2 turns.
Correct.
David's card that he drew was a Magistrate's Scepter, which is great in the early game.
But in the late
it's
game,
a
it's
take
not
extra
very-
turn card,
Oh, is it?
but you have to tap to put a counter on it. So at this point,
You have to
it's
build it
probably
up.
too late. Probably too late right now.
So let's see what David pulls off his
There's
top
a
7.
Havoc Havoc Devils. Looks like he's debating about a land. Looks like Bristling Boar, Havoc Devils.
I think he has to take a creature because otherwise he's dead next turn. I think Bristling Boar makes it so that he can guarantee kill something with Death Touch.
He can also kill the Bristling Boar that's equipped.
Yep.
And force Dason to spend mana equipping.
Yeah, I think you have to get rid of the Departed though. Yeah, because otherwise everything gets unblockable. He just dies. But like you said earlier, his wall will let him get through.
Yeah, he's still sneaking one creature through a turn.
Yeah. So David's still on the plan of finishing this game through the air, which is fine. There's 2 more turns for Dason on that clock.
3. It's a 4/4.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so they already did the life change. I'm sorry. Dason decides he wants to see another card.
Looks like another Druid.
Yep.
Again, I'd be holding that Druid. He's only got the one.
Yeah, it doesn't
bookcase
represent
now.
anything other than a potential Schrodinger's cat kind of card where you don't know what it is until you see it.
Now, by using the encyclopedia, I do believe the Armasaur should be giving David a card also. Or is that...
Is it creatures?
Creatures and lands, is that what it is? Double checking.
Sure.
Creature or land, so
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't trigger. Okay.
Alright, I think he's attacking because I see a knight out there.
This is the problem with vigilance and coverage.
Yeah.
It makes it a little unclear. So Armasaur blocked the knight like it did every other time.
Yep.
And then the wolves traded with the boar.
Dason is alright to trade here.
I'm surprised he did not make it unblockable.
Yep, and he also did play his druid for the turn. Decides to equip it to the
Thornhide Wolves, which
so
are 4/5, so now they're 6/5.
6/5, yeah. That's a mythic,
David's
I believe.
promo? No, it just looks like a regular
Oh,
rare.
it's just a regular promo shiny rare. Looks so pretty.
Thorn Lieutenant. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green elf token. 6 mana, Thorn Lieutenant gets +4/+4.
Oh, okay.
And it's a 2/3 for 2.
So it gets a pump itself.
Yep.
That's cool. And it protects it creates a little sapperling every time it protects itself. I like that.
No, spell or ability an opponent controls.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Right. Gotcha.
So David's still holding the Magistrate Scepter. Looks like he's going to commit to playing it. If he can get a counter on there, it's 4 mana to put a counter on it, but then he taps to remove a counter and takes an extra turn. So definitely something that he wants to get going.
Yeah, I think at end of turn with the Howl Druids, he'll have a chance to do that.
He does have 4 mana available.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any cards, so Dason should be able to tell that that's David's play right now.
So Dason keeps drawing, which is great.
Diversifying his mana. Might keep watching. Looks like he drew a spell. I can't tell. Maybe a ghost form, which would allow 2 creatures to be unblockable.
I mean, these are the key turns here. I think in the next 2 or 3 turns we'll figure out who's going to win. So I think what Dason does
It's
here
tapping
is,
3, which is the mana. Okay, for the bookcase.
Yep.
So Thornhide Wolves are unblockable. David gets a draw.
Does the bookcase?
It's a creature.
Oh, it's a creature. You're right. I'm sorry.
So Knight dying yet again. Those knights will never learn. That is not good to run up against a dinosaur by yourself.
Alright, so David's at 2.
Ooh, drew a Dragon Queen, but another case of probably a little too late.
Not
Too
enough
late.
Mana, yeah. Oh, he drew it, but he drew it off
He
the
drew it
Armasaur.
off the Armasaur, but
Yeah.
does not have haste. It doesn't interact well with unblockable creatures.
Yep. And at end of turn, like he's supposed to, you'll put a counter on Magistrate Scepter.
Lathless Dragon Queen.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but I think I thought of Katniss for some reason. I'm your Dragon Queen.
I volunteer for tribute.
Let's see how this goes. Got David. Looks like he has the mana to prepare to cast Lathness. Does David have a way to... Like his 1, 2... Dason has 3, 6 blockers?
I don't know how David gets around the bookcase.
The bookcase is tapped for now.
For now, but next turn, I don't know how David deals with that.
Yeah, I think David has to win this turn, right? Because the bookcase can just make any of the creatures unblockable. Or he needs a removal. The one saving grace...
6 mana for Lathless. Can he pump 3 times after he casts it, though? Because he can pump the Volcanic Dragon to a 7 if he has 6 mana available, but that would mean he needs 12 mana.
Yeah.
And I see 9, 11. So he looks like he's 1 mana short.
Yeah, he's 4, 8, 11.
I didn't even realize he had that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's looking it over. Where do I get that extra mana? Yep.
Yep. He has to just hope Dason doesn't take the... Well, there's one saving grace in that when Dason activates...
He draws.
So he has to draw a removal spell, or that's it, I think. Is that Tezzeret?
That looks like a Planeswalker.
That looks like Tezzeret. I saw Dason...
He jumped a bit.
Yeah. So David draws a card?
He did play in Vegas, but I don't think Darren told him about Tells.
Yeah. Alright, yep, so David did not draw the answer, and luckily for Dason, he actually didn't even have to show yet, right?
Yeah, so David doesn't know yet.
David doesn't know, yeah.
He does know Dason has something good, though.
Yeah. Dason got very excited there. I could feel the energy. I'd be excited too. Tezzeret's sweet.
Oh, yeah. Can we pull up Tezzeret, and I'm going to tell you which one, because all the Planeswalkers have 2 of them.
Yep.
Artifice Master.
Tezzeret Artifice Master.
That would be the Planeswalker available in packs. Alright, now you're messing with me, Jake. There we go.
So this is the guy that it looks like Dason has. It's a 5-costed blue Planeswalker. Starts with 5 loyalty, like a lot of the Planeswalkers we've been seeing in this set. Its +1 is relevant because it makes a 1/1 flying Thopter.
Which will be good against the dragons.
Yep.
Because he did not have a lot of flying.
So it turns out getting a card for no loyalty is pretty good. That's his second option. Draw a card. If you have 3 or more artifacts, and which is pretty easy to do if you build around.
Yep.
In the blue-white kind of decks.
Hardly built around, he already had 2 on board.
He already had 2 on board, and you get to draw 2 cards instead. And 2 cards a turn for 0 loyalty seems like an awesome rate.
Not bad. And he already starts at 5, so he starts off with a decent amount of loyalty.
Yep, and if somehow you do get to Ultimate Tezzeret, you get to tutor during your end step for a permanent card and put it onto the battlefield. That seems like a pretty good way to end a game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as far as control finishers go, it's a solid one.
But who's going to be plussing them?
Yeah, well...
When you can just keep drawing cards with them.
Yeah.
That's 4 turns that you've not drawn cards off.
You know, thinking specifically about Constructed, can you imagine playing Karn and then playing Tezzeret the next turn? You can either get 2 or 3 cards, or
Karn's
you get...
Teferi, Tezzeret. All 3 fit.
Either you get 2 or 3 cards because of the amount of artifacts that you have on the table, and the Karn Silver Plus, or... If you're feeling aggro about it, you can minus Karn and then plus Tezzeret, making your Karn constructs bigger. So there's options here.
They work very well together.
Yeah, it seems like they're friends. Artifact creature, Planeswalker guy, and Planeswalker artifact creature guy seem like they're good with each other.
It makes sense.
So going into the next game, we saw that David was strong on the ground. Dason also was actually pretty wide and kind of like they have very stally boards. The difference was Dason had the unblockable stuff.
David tried to get around the ground clutter by flying. Dason chose to just go unblockable.
Yep. And
So
it looks like in this
it was
set,
a close race.
we saw earlier with Brian using the blue for very control style.
Cancel,
counter spells,
Essence Scatter.
scatters. Dason is using blue and aggro style in such a way, and as counterintuitive as that may sound from a color pie perspective, blue and limited has some aggro effects, and all of them have to do with making your creatures unblockable.
Yep.
And it turns out unblockable creatures are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you put them on big green creatures, which themselves are just good.
Yeah.
And then making them unblockable make them amazing.
I like what I'm seeing out of Dason's deck. Having seen the Tezzeret,
Yes.
the concern for Dason against David for me is the Flying Dragons.
Flying dragons.
Because we've seen 2 dragons for sure. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
he's got at least 1 or 2 more, because there are common and uncommon dragons in this set.
Yep.
So having Tezzeret able to put out Thopters, because we haven't seen anything with Reach.
Nope.
We haven't seen any bounce of real note out of Dason yet.
And green blue is notoriously light on removal to begin with. So
being
answers
able to
for,
get stuff to throw in front of
Yeah.
dragons, I think, might be relevant.
So if Dason, for example, had a plummet in his sideboard, I would love to see that come in.
That would definitely need to come in.
Yeah.
From the sideboard.
Yep. Very, very clean answers. It costs 2, takes care of a creature with flying. Is in the colors he wants. All great.
Yeah.
David here, actually, he had a pretty good line to win. He was just 1 turn short, it looked like.
1 mana off.
1 mana off, 1 turn short.
Yep.
Story of my life.
That's a lot of times that's what Magic comes down to, though.
Yeah. Both played very well there. I
Yeah.
think they all played to their outs. David was on 6 to start, so that might have changed a little thing.
I'm pretty sure it was a better 6 than the 7 that he got rid of, though.
I agree. And Dason actually did very well in using his Omen speakers early, which is what you want to do to scry in. Putting his ramp pieces out, playing a card every turn. That's Blue-Green Temple at its finest.
Yep.
Playing big fatties. At one point, he traded a Palaka Worm gaining 7 life for 3 of David's creatures, which is like sweet. I think it's great.
So we got 4 lands: Bristling Boar, Runic Armasaur again, and Titanic Growth.
All of them seem great for David.
And then
We got
3 lands: Omen
3
Speaker, Cancel, Dagger the Basilisk, and I'm not sure what the white artifact card was.
It might be the blade that makes a knight again.
The Sigiled Sword of Valoron.
Yep. So something to note is that I haven't seen a ton of 1 and 2 drops in this set. They exist, but like
They
don't. They exist almost. It seems to fuel the later drops.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not like in the previous sets where 2/2s define a format.
No.
Yeah.
In this matchup, we're definitely
Looks like Dason is slamming the Omen speaker.
seeing Green's ability to stop the offense with their big butts.
Yep.
So
And
There's
he
the
gets the
bookcase.
second wall. Yeah.
So he has 3 creatures, all very good at blocking right
Yeah.
now. So it
it
looks like
seems-
the encyclopedia is what the white.
Which is
white-
great, actually,
yeah.
because as long as Dason can keep undumping his hand, he's going to just continually grow out. It's nice.
Looks like he's going for the boar.
Yep.
Again, can only be blocked by 1 creature. But it's getting in for 4, so it's something that you want to block. Because it's going to hurt you if you don't.
Absolutely.
Dason playing the Basilisk. Daggerback Basilisk.
I think a big problem for David is that his deck currently is configured in such a way that he has a lot of ground creatures. The dragons
Yeah.
do come in, but all the green tends to be on the ground. And with Dason putting up high toughness creatures like the wall and other things like that, it's much harder.
He's having a hard time punch that.
it's harder to get the extra
Little
points of
bits of
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
Dason has his Spirit, the deckhand, on the battlefield again, so he's back to being unblockable if he wants to.
Yeah, that's huge. 'Cause that's our boy
Found
Tezzeret.
Tezzeret.
He's short
1 blue mana.
1 blue.
He has a Druid, but that gives him 4 green. So he attacks with a deckhand. Can only be blocked by spirits.
Yep, and it looks like he doesn't want to spend the mana to make something else unblockable, seeing as he wants to either use the mana to draw a card with, or play the.
He played the
two.
tome.
Yep.
Yeah. or encyclopedia. We keep calling it a tome.
It's because it's like a legitimate.
It's a draw
tome.
effect,
Yeah.
and that in
I got
Dungeons
you,
and Dragons,
Andy.
that goes back to tomes.
Yeah, I got you, Andy.
But it is the encyclopedia, Arcane Encyclopedia, I believe.
If we get that one, do we get the whole set 1 through 26?
Well, they come in monthly installments.
Oh, right, that's right. They send you a couple at a time, right?
So I just watched Book of Eli the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and they got to the library, and Malcolm McDowell was very proud of their almost complete set of Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right.
Just missing 3 volumes. All right, Rabid Bite.
I haven't seen that card since Innistrad.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah.
So he's going to have the Daggerback deal death touch damage to the Armasaur. Seems like a good play.
I like that. They'll
It's
bully.
not fighting.
It's a bully.
Yeah.
It's a bully effect, yep.
I've never heard that phrase, but I like it.
Yeah, because it only goes one way.
Yeah. David double checking. Why isn't your Basilisk dead? Oh.
That's right, we didn't fight.
That's what it
I
does.
just bullied you with my Basilisk. What a big Basilisk bully.
I did not figure Dason for a bully until he started playing with you guys.
What did he play there? Is that the blade? Yeah, that's the blade, right?
Yeah, that's the Sigil Sword of Valor.
Yeah. So it looks like he's gonna slam in for he's
Titanic
gonna
Growth.
Taiki's hand. That works. He has to sacrifice his creature.
Let me help your deckhand out there,
Yeah.
buddy.
That's my favorite thing to do is pumping my opponent's creature to win the
To
game.
death?
Yeah. So in Two-Headed Battle Bond Giant, we had my opponent had Pure and Toothy, and we supported, I believe it's Toothy, the one that makes you draw cards after it dies. We supported him until he had 10 counters, and I killed him, and we milled him to death. So they're like, we were secretly counting their cards from a while, and then we pumped his own creature up, killed him with a black destroy spell,
and then he had to draw.
and then he had to draw, and he drew counting, and he realized right as he got to the bottom that there was nowhere to draw. It was great. So David is a little on the back foot here, but he's take care of the unblockable creature.
Unblockable creature's gone, and he's getting big fat creatures
Yes.
on the ground. The problem is that Basilisk will kill any of David's big creatures.
Yep. And the good news is that David's life total is quite stable right now. He's not being pressured.
Yeah, now that he got the spirit off the board,
Yeah.
he's okay. Dason tapping the Encyclopedia to draw a card.
He's dying for that extra blue source.
Now, Dason's army of 1/3 creatures holding off the Anaki Ogre again.
Yep. What is this here?
Okay, we are going to flip through our sheet for the blue creature that just entered the battlefield. Scholar of Stars. At the same time we got it. If you control an artifact, draw a card, which he did.
Yep. Let's help him draw. He still does not get to see...
It does trade with the boar.
Yep. He still did not get to see the extra land, unfortunately.
Jason is dying for an island.
Oh, there
we
it is.
go.
He slams it. He
There
knows
we
what
go.
he wants. Now he has to decide, do we play Tezzeret into this board?
It seems like a decent board for
I
him.
think it's fine. Yeah.
He still has a Basilisk to protect him.
And David gets to see Tezzeret for the first time, as we do on camera as well.
Yep.
Let's see, does Dason want to draw a card, or is he going to make a Thopter?
Right now I'm making Thopters.
Yeah, I think because we know David only has a couple of these flying threats, Thopters seem good. He should probably be able to protect Tezzeret with a bunch of his creatures on the ground.
Yeah.
I love it. I think
he can get some damage in while he's
Yep.
waiting on the dragons to come, and then he's got blockers once the dragons
And
arrive.
he knows that David burned a Titanic Growth already as one of the combat tricks, so I'd feel pretty confident playing Tezzeret.
And he's able to protect Tezzeret
Yes.
with other creatures right now.
The big thing is there's a line of play where Dason could actually ultimate Tezzeret by protecting him enough. So that's a thing that we have to think about.
Going 4 turns is very real right now.
Hi, Jetto. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey.
We do appreciate you being with us today, and thank you for the compliment. We love it.
Thank you very much. Alex and I, we're just having fun here.
Yeah, I mean...
So the fact that you guys are out there watching, we appreciate it.
We get to hang with you and
Yeah.
talk Magic all day. That's sweet.
Feel free to chime in. Let us know any of your thoughts, comments. If you've already done a pre-release yourself, 'cause I'm not sure where you're coming from. We're a bit behind the time here in Hawaii, though.
Yeah.
So,
however your pre-release went, if you did do one, if it went well, or any cool pulls, feel free to share it with us. We'd be happy to see it.
all right. So Dason equipped a sword onto his Thopter token.
Mm-hmm.
Produced a knight which was blocked, but the Thopter still got in for 3 vigilance flying.
Yep.
So, awful pre-release last night.
Hey man, we don't always get the great ones. Sometimes it doesn't go well, but hopefully you had fun.
Yeah, always cool to see what everybody else gets.
Yeah.
Midnight pre-releases, I'm going for cards. I never play well.
It gets
too
once
tired.
at 3 or 4 in the morning, your magic brain is not as good as magic brain during the day.
All right, so Dason does have enough artifacts now that he's drawing 2 cards off Tezzeret if he uses it.
Yep. But it looks like he might be taking the line. Oh, there's that Palaka Worm.
Palaka Worm to gain 7.
Baby. This is getting out of control really, really quickly.
David needs some flying
Yeah.
to block that Thopter, and he needs it now.
And so it looks like Dason is going to take the line to continue
dropping
Thopters. Yep. He has enough chump blockers on the ground to defend Tezzeret. He has chump blockers in the air to defend Tezzeret at this point. So at some point, if he's able to emblem Tezzeret, he's going to be able to just start slamming threats every turn.
Yeah, and it's, like we said, 4 turns is going to go quick. He's got blockers.
It looks like he volley veteraned the Thopter in the air, hopefully clearing the way for some sort of dragon that he can deal some damage to Tezzeret.
No, the nice thing, David only had the 1 goblin, but Thopter
Is
did
just
not
one
have
toughness.
pumped up toughness.
Yep.
So.
But unfortunately, I mean,
The
Dason can
equipment's still there.
the equipment's still there. Dason can keep making another Thopter, right?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't even need to. He just suits the equipment back up. Thopter's got vision. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he wants the alpha with the Palaka Worm. Forget, we got little guys to defend Tezzeret. We're gonna pound in with the Palaka Worm.
David, welcome to my world. We are playing a completely different game now.
Yeah. Oh, and making the Palaka Worm unblockable. Oh,
With
baby.
9/7 unblockable vigilant.
Oh, this is a sweet deck. Dason, you put
You
together.
guys made him so mean.
I am so proud of Dason right now. This deck is so sweet.
It's working very
That's
well
my
together.
boy. I like. Way to go, Dason. That's awesome.
Exactly, gentlemen. It's just getting very scary for you.
Yeah, this is getting crazy.
David, I think, is getting a bit frustrated over there.
Tezzeret's a good card, and being unblockable Palaka Worms. Here we go. And there it is, yep. Hey, good job, Dason.
Well played. Good handshake by David.
Well played by David, too. It's really rough for him because the unblockable thing is really hard when your plan is
so
to
tough.
gum up the ground with all this kind of ground creatures.
And Dason
stuff.
had so many ways to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, he got a very good deck, put it together very well.